And what does the week look like from here then? We've got the sort of 2 weeks now until we head to Spa. What sort of work do you two need to do together before you get to the track?
Tyre test. Yeah, tomorrow we're actually back at Silverstone to have a tyre test with Pirelli, which we usually do twice a year, maybe it's 3 times a year sometimes if we do a wet test. Wednesday, I'm back in Brackley on the simulator preparing for Belgium and Hungary. And then I'm going to go back home, get some rest. I have a sponsor event on Monday next week. And we will, obviously going into Belgium now, it's not a sprint race weekend. So it gives you a little bit more time on the Friday to try some things. It's not as essential to try and hit the ground running. Mm-hmm. And you can give yourself that opportunity on Friday to learn. But, as we said before, Marcus and I, and Katsu, my performance engineer, we're in comms most days and always sort of looking a bit at the race that's gone by and what we could have done better, but also looking at the trends over the years, like what is the overriding factor that is we're struggling with and how we're going to sort of implement that into the next race.
Yeah, and you've talked a little bit in the last couple of weekends, I think, about sort of trusting your instinct a bit more and letting it flow. And so what is on that job list?
You drive. Just drive.
Yeah, just Toto.
Toto does like that one, doesn't he?
He said that. It was quite nice the first one. The first time he said that. The second time, it was nice as well. And the fifth time in Silverstone. But it's what people don't know is like Toto and I also speak most days and we have our own conversations. And it's like Marcus said before, he will give me a message that may not make a lot of sense to the average viewer, but because we've spoken about this a million times before,
you've talked about.
You know exactly what it means. But for us, I like to do my preparation and work very hard on the week off. But then once I arrive at the racetrack, go in with an open mind and almost like I see it as revising for an exam and then performing the exam. Like once you're in that room performing and doing that exam, you can't do your revision. So you just got to trust what you've learned before, unless you cheat, which I know when I was a kid doing some of especially my French exam, I was always looking over my shoulder. But you can't quite do that when you're in the race car. So I think just sort of trusting what you've learned, trusting your instincts, and just letting it flow.
Mm. I mean, to be fair, Kimi did talk about getting the engineers to do his maths last year, didn't he?
Oh, really?
Before he did his sort of end of school exams. So, and from your point of view, Shav, looking ahead, after the last 2 or 3 races, we've seen Ferrari come back quite strongly and, putting up a real challenge. Red Bull were very competitive in Austria as well. So what's the feeling in the team as we're, looking ahead to the last races before the summer break and then beyond?
It'd be great if we can do some more winning before we get to the summer break.
Let's do that.
But I think that we didn't win at the weekend with Kimi because we didn't finish the race with him. Like after Austria, we thought Red Bull were going to be really quick. Ferrari definitely looked like they're quick, but we just need to mainly focus on ourselves. Make sure we're operating well, we're getting the car to the finish reliably. We're bringing performance to it. We haven't done a massive kit like some of our competitors, but every week we're trying to bring performance to just keep ourselves ahead at the moment. We're lucky that we've got a car that works across a whole range of tracks. Probably not lucky. I think we've done a good job at engineering a car that works across a full range of tracks. It's a lot of prep goes into the circuits to make sure that we land the car in the right place and we can perform well. We had a couple of circuits recently like Monaco and Austria that have been tough places for us over the last few years. It was great that we can turn it around there. But, Spa, really weird track, difficult from an energy point of view. So there's a lot of work we've got to do to make sure we can hit the ground running.
Yeah, and I mean, do you go to Spa slightly having that feeling that it owes you, George, after, what happened in 2024? Or what's the challenge going to be like there?
No, I don't feel like it owes me anything, to be honest. It
owes me something.
It owes Marcus 1.5 kilos. No, because that race still is a race that I'll remember, and I'll probably remember it more, when the day I'm lying on my deathbed, I'll probably remember that race because of what happened, and it didn't, I wasn't in a championship fight that year. Of course, it was a shame to not keep the trophy, but that was a great race, and it's a track that I love. But it's going to be difficult this year, like Shov said, with the energy management and a lot of challenges. It's a tough track at the best of times.
Might get rain as well.
Is there rain under forecast?
There's always rain on the forecast.
Yeah, so there's always rain.
I mean, Spa, you can be in Spa itself and then come over the hill to the circuit, can't you? And find yourself.
It's crazy
in the
that
rain.
we've not had a single wet session this whole season. I can't remember the last time that
we had a tyre test where you did about one lap on a track that was slightly wet.
Yes.
And we had a damp day in Barcelona, didn't we, at the first test as well? But we didn't run.
We didn't run that one. We when we did the very first running of the W17, that was at a wet Silverstone, but it was more about systems checks. Yes. We haven't. There's a lot that we're going to have to learn very quickly if we get dropped into a wet quali or wet race.
And is it something the drivers are apprehensive about? Is it something you have a plan for when, if you've never driven this car in the wet?
You can't really plan for it because you don't know what you're dealing with. You don't know what the beast is beneath you. There's been certain chats about the tyres maybe not as good as the tyres in the years gone by. So you may have, as a driver, a little bit more caution on your out lap and your first lap. You're probably not going to go flat through a Rouge on your first first lap in the rain.
I mean, you nearly did in qualifying that year. When was it?
Yeah, 2021 in
2021, yeah. That was quite impressive, I remember.
Yeah.
But no two wet laps are the same, though, are they? So you cannot prepare for it. You can do all the preparation you want, but as soon as you get out there, you just need to be flexible and be able to adapt to the situation.
And as a race engineer, is there a playbook, or is it, you're often if you're in quali, I guess you're in parc ferme. Cross your fingers, send it, and hope. Yeah.
We have the Chauvelin scale
of rain.
Which is Shov's very technical.
He gives a number between 1 and 10, and we'll look up and go, okay, that's obviously a 3.
I think from memory, we normally correct it to a sort of 2.5, don't we, or a 3.5.
Yeah. I think it's quite useful.
Yes. We won't give those secrets away, though.
Well, no, exactly. We mustn't give all our performance away in a chat.
Shov the weatherman.
Yeah. No, we have done a bit of planning for we know what we're doing with power units and tyres and things, but as Marcus says, every wet session's different, every lap's different, so we'll see how we get on.
Yeah, it's just adapting to what you see and what's going on around you and the conditions, because they'll constantly be evolving as well as the session's going on, whether it's raining more or drying up. And you just have to adapt. And I think with
it's never raining the same, is it? The track's either getting wetter or getting drier.
How do you make the decisions when that happens, when it's getting wetter or when it's getting drier? What's the sort of standard operating procedure?
Well, again, this is the communication between either what we're seeing from competitors and their lap times, whether it's drying up or getting wetter, and then what the driver's actually seeing and feeling on the.
But the general rule is when it's getting wetter, it's the driver's decision when to pit from dry tyres to wet tyres, and when it's getting drier, it's the team's call. Could you see the temperature? Well, I don't want to give too much away on our fancy radio show and allow our competitors.
Don't say another word.
No, zip it. But usually it's the team's call when it's getting drier.
You've also got telemetry data from the other cars, so you could, quite often the first person who goes to dries gets it wrong when it's a transition, because it's normally someone who's got nothing to lose. So they think, well, I'll do it, roll the dice.
I have been there once or twice.
I remember coming out the pits in Canada in a qualifying session,
So we would then be looking at how they're getting on. There's a warm-up curve. If you wait until that car does a purple sector, you've left it too long. So you're trying to sort of predict when that would be. And, a lot of it is just getting it all to work well together, good weather forecasting. So we've had occasions where if we can give the drivers good information, you might be in conditions that you're quicker on Inter, but when you've got to do a pit stop to get to Inter and then another pit stop not long after to go back to dry, you just ride it out. And that's where you've got to know from the driver, can you live with the conditions? It's going to be unpleasant for a few laps, and it will.
These days with the GPS as well, we can tell very quickly which corners are wetter, which ones are drier, and just feed that back to the driver when they do come into pit and say it's wettest at turns 3 and 4. But then it will starts drying after that. So
yeah.
And as we look ahead to Belgium and Hungary, I mean, what are expectations? What are your what are you hoping for from those 2 weekends?
Well, as
Actually,
Sean
more
said,
of that winning.
do more winning.
winning.
Do more winning. That's what
what
I'm.
would you like?
I would like to do more winning.
No, but obviously you've built, over
for
the last
sure.
2 or 3 race weekends, we've seen you get the roll of the dice, I guess, a little
Yeah.
bit more than earlier in the season. P2 in the championship, and
Yeah, it's been a
still got
good
a long way to go.
It's been a good small run of form. We'll put it like that. 2 poles from the last 3 races, 3 podiums. The car has been good at almost every circuit this year, so we'd like to think that we'll be in the mix. In
Which circuit was it not good at?
that's what I said. It's been good at all of them.
It just
It's
hedging
been
its
very good.
Barcelona could have been a bit better.
Yeah, Barcelona could have maybe been slightly better, but I think probably still could have won that race if it was a bit of a fight. But I think we'll be strong. So try and do more
winning.
Do more,
Do more winning.
Yes,
I think that's a good motto.
I think that should be the new slogan.
We should get that outside.
We should get it on the car park banner.
Yeah.
shouldn't
Car
we?
park
Do more
banner.
winning.
Do more
It might
winning.
feel a bit like a sort of a command coming down from on
Yeah.
high, I guess. So
I think someone got paid a lot of money for our previous slogan, so maybe you should claim that one, copyright it,
Yeah,
and that could be a nice little payday.
that's Bradley's area to pay the money on.
yeah, I think that'd be an excluded marketing spend, wouldn't it,
Yeah.
Shov? So cool. And looking beyond Hungary, I mean, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but summer holiday plans? What are you doing in the August shutdown?
I'm getting away and going somewhere quiet.
And they're very much not saying where you're going now,
Yes.
so that you don't bump into lots of people when you get there.
Yeah, the shutdown I think's so good for everybody because this sport is intense. We're all working our asses off to perform and to deliver, and you're on this emotional roller coaster. We've had a lot of highs this year, but still moments when things don't go well. When reliability issues, Kimmy at the weekend, myself a couple of times earlier in the year. It's tough for everybody. We're all enduring that at the same time. So for us all to take a moment with our family and enjoy a couple of weeks is important.
The best bit is there's no email
Email,
because it's like you're not allowed to work, you're not allowed to email.
But there's still text messages. There's still
George will phone
WhatsApps.
you halfway through
Please
saying, where are you, Marcus? What's going on? And you'll be like, I'm on shutdown.
Why have I not heard from you?
But no, it's nice because you can just go away and literally forget about work, and it's the only time that you can do that properly.
Do you forget about work?
Yeah.
There you go. He's a pro.
Yep. A few years ago, I let my phone just go flat.
Okay.
Let my phone go flat for a few days and just ignored it. But that's a nice bit. And you come back in 2 weeks later and nothing's happened because no one's working.
Yeah.
So, there's no plans that have changed or
No.
things that have gone off track. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we said working plenty of times in those last answers, and I think it's probably time to get back to doing a bit more of that. So for George and Marcus, you can go and prep for the Pirelli test. Shove, get back to your meetings as well. And thank you all for joining us on
Thank
our
you.
Silver Arrows radio show.
Bradley Lord.
Thank you, Bradley Lord.
Thank you very much.